Hey there, welcome back to Featherwood Farm. So you just watched kind of what I've been up to this past week, and it's felt really good. Crossed a lot of little projects off the list that I had, tedious things that didn't really consume much time, but were not high priority. So like the goat house or the goat hangout area, like getting that a little spruced up looks really nice, super quick to do. Been on the list for ever since I built the thing, so over a year, 2 years, I can't remember. Yeah, so that's done. That feels good. So I did get the ceramic coop painted black, and Brandon and I were able to move it to like the outside of where the picket fence is going to be. And then I sort of had this conundrum of how am I going to actually finish the picket fence alongside that. I had a couple of concerns, one being that I don't even know how I would install the pickets because there's not enough space in between the actual coop and the fence to get the nail gun in. And then also, if I were to do that, it would bring the fence like right up to their window height. And we have a lot of predators in the area, and even though we have the window secured with hardware cloth and stuff, if a raccoon is able to sit its fat butt on the fence and just gnaw at this hardware cloth, they can chew through it if so inclined. So I don't want to invite that problem. So I think what I'm going to do, and I'll actually walk over there. So what I'm going to do is actually move the ceramic coop back a little ways so that it's basically up to the fence back there on the back, and this post is kind of in line with the corner. I think it's about the right measurement. If not, then I'll pull this post out and move it up a few more inches. And then the bottom here would be open, so I'm going to attach some black kind of mock hardware cloth that I have. I say mock because it's like that vinyl coated stuff. It's nowhere near as strong as actual hardware cloth, but it's small grid pattern like hardware cloth, but it's black, and I have some of that, and I'll just attach that to the bottom there so nothing can come through underneath the coop, and then finish this little chunk of fence. I don't know, it's like a 8-foot section, and that's all that I have left as far as fence construction. And then, yeah, it'll be on the outside, and that'll take care of that. And then kind of, this will all be planted in, so it's not gonna be glaringly obvious that there is no fence, no picket fence right here. And I think the fact that I have the coop painted black now is also gonna kind of help blend everything together. But yeah, that's the plan. That's what we're gonna do. I got much of this fence that was here previously, the welded wire fence that the willow tree mangled last year, removed. I kept this portion here, portion down there, and then a little bit over here, because here I have some blackberries growing and some weeds. So I'm gonna wait till, end of season to cut those back and move those and pull that fence out. And then these two are grapevines. I thought that the welded wire fence was gonna stay before it was destroyed last year, and, I created this whole picket fence monstrosity project. So ideally there were going to be these grapevines growing along the side of the fence, but yeah, that's not happening, so I don't wanna remove these right now either. I'm gonna wait until end of season to cut these vines back and relocate them, and then I'll, get the rest of this fencing and these posts out. But even with those being here, so much more space, so much more open, and yeah, just it feels good. This is, all an area where I did have a couple of rows where I grew my sunflowers and some zinnias last year. Now it's kind of filling in with weeds. I'm gonna go through by hand probably and pull the weeds, and then get some grass seed laid down over here. With the goat hangout, I removed that window because this was originally built to be the new duck coop. And then the goats just really, really liked it, and you know, I love my goats, so I wanted to keep it for them, and I still have to build another duck coop. But you know, it had that window in the front. The goats didn't need that. They just jump in through the front, or they jump in through the side door over to the right there. And so I took that out, and that'll go in the future new duck coop. But I would like to kind of, I don't know, build like a facade in the front. I still have a little bit of that siding left, and I'm thinking like making it little arched to kind of cover up just that top board there. Might be kind of cute, little bit of whimsy to it, but we'll see. That'll, you know, that'll be added to the list of low priority projects, you know, cross something off and replace it with something else. But I like the pop of white that that's bringing. I also did start staining the picket fence. I had a gallon of slate semi-transparent, and it did not go as far as I thought that it would, naively. I should have known better. I knew it wasn't going to do everything, but it did not do even one coat of the entire exterior. And that was just something that I had already had from a previous project a couple years ago. So I'm gonna have to go and get like a 5-gallon bucket, I think, of that, because it needs 2 coats. I got really scared when I first put it on, thinking that this was not as dark as I thought it was. Slate was kind of the closest to black that they had. But when I put it on, all I could see was gray, like weathered barnwood look almost. But I did, in one spot, kind of test what it looks like with a second coat, and yeah, it really darkened right up. So it will be what I want it to be. But it, even with just this, it already is looking better. More in the direction of, you know, what I wanted for this all along. I was rolling it, and oh boy, is that going to be a time-consuming thing. So we do have a sprayer, and I'm gonna pull that out. We have rain coming tomorrow, and if everything's dry the following day, hopefully I'll get to it the following day, and hopefully the sprayer can kind of get in between like the sides of each picket and, you know, the rails and stuff, because if I have to roll all of this, I will have a head full of white hair from the stress. No, that's dramatic, but it'll just take me a long time. And then I also got this painted black. I used the same black paint that I used on the greenhouse and the ceramic coop for this, rather than the stain. Really glad I went that direction. It's perfect. Just black makes everything look better. Okay, so that is pretty much 1 week's worth of work. It's a lot of alliteration right there. Done, and kind of on to the next thing. I have to redo our chicken run so that that's actually functional and can be used. I'm going to officially finish up the fire pit garden, edging it and getting the stones in now that all of the mess from the picket fence is no longer there, kind of impeding that project. And who knows what else, but it's feeling good. So thank you for joining me today, and we'll see you in the next video.